Hey, welcome to Caleb's Basketball Pod. First off, an apology to everyone. Sorry if I'm just getting to first episode of a week on Wednesday. Was kind of under the weather the last couple of days, but nonetheless, I'm starting to feel better now. So here we go. There's been a lot to catch up on, a lot that happened over the weekend. On Friday's episode, we previewed that Cleveland-Boston game that happened on ESPN in Boston. And I talked about the slow starts Cleveland struggled with against Boston. They had another slow start. Again, issues, problems. You have to fix these before you really get into a playoff series with Boston. But Cleveland had a slow start, down 22 points, 25-3 at one point. Ended up coming back and winning that game on the heels of a big game of Donovan Mitchell, 41 points. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for the most points they've had as a Celtics duo together. So that was very impressive and huge win for Cleveland. At this point now, they've won 11 straight. After that, they beat the Blazers on Sunday and the Chicago Bulls last night. And they will put that 11-game win streak on the line tonight in Cleveland against the Miami Heat. Also with a shot to clinch a playoff spot already with 20 games left in the season. It's been a very impressive one for Cleveland as of late. I just want to mention that. I want to say I do believe that they're legitimate championship contenders. And they're 8-0 since acquiring DeAndre Hunter, and since in the games he's played, they haven't lost yet. Very impressive. I talked about around the trade deadline how I felt DeAndre Hunter was that missing piece that Cleveland needed. The biggest question, and I think everybody's just asking the same question about Cleveland: how do they fail in the playoffs? They're looking really good as a regular season team. How do you fail in the playoffs? And even if you fare well in the playoffs, you have to beat that Boston Celtics team. They are rightfully so the defending champions, and it really doesn't matter which seed they are. They are the team you have to beat in the Eastern Conference. So it'll be interesting to see how they stack up. Also be interesting to see how the Knicks stack up. Last night, the New York Knicks dropped a game in New York to the Golden State Warriors, and the Golden State Warriors have been on a roll since acquiring Jimmy Butler. So that's another team to look out for. They went from acquiring Jimmy Butler and being on the outside of a play-in looking in to now they're number 6, and they are past the play-in at this point. Speaking of Western Conference play-in teams, we got horrible news yesterday morning that Kyrie Irving a couple days ago suffered a torn ACL in the fourth quarter against the Sacramento Kings. Not only is Kyrie Irving always one of my favorite players to watch, I just think he's underrated. He should have been on the NBA top 75 of all time, beyond a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion. It's just sad, how good he was playing. He's registered the most minutes, which is a problem in the last 6 weeks of any player. He's been averaging nearly 40 minutes a game. That's way too much. And he was on a season where it seemed like he felt like he was trying to prove something. And he was trying to prove, hey, they traded away Luka. I can still be the guy for Dallas. I'm keeping us afloat till Anthony Davis comes back. Now we're to a point where Anthony Davis may not even return because his representation said they may just ask for the Mavericks hold him out for the rest of the season, just so he can be healthy for next year and not risk an injury because it's a soft tissue injury. It felt like it can get worse if he comes back too soon. So it may just hold him out and see if Dallas can get a lottery pick. We know Joel Embiid's out for the year. We heard yesterday Jalen Suggs is out for a year. A lot of injuries to a lot of really good players. And I just want to say it really sucks. But the Magic, they really need to find a solution soon. They have not found anything since Paolo and Francis came back from injury. I know we haven't seen Jalen Suggs there really since those two have returned. But it's an ISO-heavy squad right now, that Orlando team, and it's really not going anywhere. It's not getting them anywhere. It's too much Paolo ISOs, Franz ISOs, so they need to figure that out. But ball needs move. You have players that can get points, but it's hard for those players to get points if we keep the ball in the same guy's hands and we just let them ISO and ISO and ISO and ISO. So it's not what you want. That's not team basketball, and it's not going to win anything, in my opinion. So Orlando really needs to flip the switch. And now you don't have Jalen Suggs come back and save you from this ISO ball. So Jamal Mosley needs to coach his butt off, which we know he's capable of, and bring ball movement back to that Orlando offense. With the talent on that roster, Paolo and Fonz, there is no excuse that they should have the worst offense in the league. And right now, that's where they sit. So it will be interesting to see about that. Like I said, it really sucks with what happened with Dallas. We're seeing Detroit move up in the rankings. I've spoken on that. We're also seeing the Los Angeles Lakers win 7 straight and now currently sit at the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think that would have happened unless they made that Luka Doncic trade. We know Davis has been dealing with injuries. He missed the later time with LA. He missed his first few games with Dallas before he would return too soon, and then end up missing the last few weeks now and may not even return for the season. So I don't believe that the Lakers would be in this spot if it wasn't for that Luka trade, but LeBron and Luka are rolling together. Last night we saw Luka 30 points, 15 assists, LeBron 34 points, 8 assists. I mean, it's crazy the numbers these two are putting up together, and it's just working. And let's not forget about Austin Reeves. He's missed a couple games with an injury, but Austin Reeves is still like he's part of the big three. That's your big three. That's your squad right there. And it's been big for the Lakers, those three working together, and other players stepping up too. Jared Vanderbilt's made a huge difference on defense. They don't have a center, a paint presence, so they just send like all their guys inside the paint to double and work in the paint, and they leave guys with lower three-point percentage like Aaron Gordon, like Russell Westbrook, but lower three-point percentage guys open. Right now, that's their strategy. Again, like I said a couple episodes ago, I don't know how well that will fare when they take on a Boston or a Cleveland, and if they make it to the NBA Finals, which is not out of question at this point because that Lakers team's looking good, and you have to get that feeling that they aren't going to duck any challenge. They know what they're capable of with LeBron and Luka on their roster, and to be honest, two in the Western Conference wants to play LeBron and Luka in a playoff series together. So if they're healthy, watch out for the Lakers in the Western Conference. Tonight, we have a huge Oklahoma-Memphis game. Memphis has lost like 3 or 4 straight games by like a point or two each. Came down to final shot in each of these last games, and they're not finishing them. They're struggling in the clutch. But Memphis is a really good basketball team. Jaren Jackson has took huge steps in his just offensive progress this season. He is out tonight. He's out a week or two with a sprained ankle, so we hope to see him back on the court soon. But they're taking a tremendous leap. Another team that's taken a leap out west, the Portland Trailblazers, they find themselves a half a game out of the Western Conference play-in tournament. And with what happened to Dallas, where Dallas lost Kyrie for the year and Davis may not return, don't be surprised if Portland don't sit in that 10th spot. I see more progress from them than I do the Phoenix Suns. So if I had to predict who would take Dallas's place in that 10th spot, I would predict the Portland Trailblazers. Those guys are playing really good basketball right now. We saw them take it to Cleveland, in Cleveland, almost win. Then the next night we saw them beat Philadelphia in Philly. I mean, that Portland team's playing good basketball right now. They're even competing against the upper echelon in the Western Conference. You have to respect it, and I love what Chauncey Billups has done there. A team that's not playing so well, though, right now, the Los Angeles Clippers. Los Angeles Clippers, they need to find something. It looks like even games that you feel are in their control or in their hands, they somehow let go of that grasp and they somehow drop that game. They had a 23-point lead to the Phoenix Suns, and the Suns have been struggling, and they couldn't keep that lead, and the Suns won. So it's like you expect a lot better from a team that has Kawhi and James Harden on it. Norman Powell's been playing really good basketball. Zubac's been playing really good basketball. But you need more. You need to find something else. And I'm really surprised Tyronn Lue hasn't gone to the next level of his Clippers team. But it just comes down to, like, you can't trust that Kawhi's going to play a lot. Well, now you're getting Kawhi playing a lot, and maybe you did better when Kawhi wasn't playing because you were implementing that offense around James Harden. Now it looks like you need to find the in-between on how you get the best of both Harden and Kawhi, and I don't think we've seen that yet. I think if Tyronn Lue, which we know how smart he is, he'll figure it out, but I think if he can find to get the best out of both Harden and Kawhi, I think they'll do better. But some games Kawhi just looks average, and it makes you wonder how healthy he actually is, and you really hope he is healthy. Some games it just looks like he's not taking full control of a game like he used to. And if you want the best of Kawhi, you need him to be that guy and take full control of the game. So until we see that, I don't see the Clippers moving up, but they're in danger of possibly being in the play-in and maybe getting kicked out. And that's not a good position to be in. I think that's a story to watch as we keep going. But watch for Minnesota Timberwolves. I also believe they're going to jump out of the play-in. So if I had predict, I would say Golden State and Minnesota comes out of the play-in, and possibly Houston drops into the play-in, which is what I said a couple episodes ago. So just keep an eye on that. That's the way my prediction's going. And don't be surprised if the Kings don't get out of the first round of the play-in. I'm not saying they will make the playoffs, but if they match up with Phoenix or Portland or a really hot Dallas, I really think Sacramento can make it out to make it at least to the second round of the play-in. So there's a lot of stories to watch, and like I keep saying, this NBA season's really, really entertaining. So just keep an eye on that play-in. It's going to be right now the funnest part of what's left of this regular season. And that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will get another episode out on Friday. Again, I'm sorry guys for missing Monday. Just really sick for the last couple of days, but thankfully I'm feeling better now. Thank you guys for watching.